sort of claustrophobic, just a little bit. Feel much better. Forward right, back left. Hi, I'm Dennis Gage, and welcome to My Classic Car. Well, this week we're in Afton, Oklahoma at Darryl Starbird's Rod and Custom Hall of Fame. This is an unbelievable aggregation of some of the craziest cars on the planet, and Darryl Starbird, aka the Bubble Top King, is responsible for quite a few of them. I'm telling you, there are some wild rides here. So just sit back and let me take you on a custom trip. Well, Darryl, great to see you again, my friend.
Well, hey, this is great to have you here, Dennis.
And man, what a place. This is just unbelievable. I've always wanted to get here, and there's so much great here. I thought we'd start in what I was going to say was the coolest wing, the Jack Walker wing, but that's not really true. Every place you look here, it's cool. Starting over with the Voodoo Spider. It does look like a bug, actually. Is it fiberglass?
No, actually, the car's handmade out of sheet metal.
I mean, that's got such wild curves and everything that I'm amazed you can even do that with metal.
Well, you know, and it takes a lot of skill and a lot of hammering and a lot of welding and leading and filling and cussing. A little bit of everything.
That probably comes in, I'm sure that comes into play. And then I like the way the gauging is done. That looks like exhaust tubing.
Well, actually, you know, that is exhaust
tubing. Oh, really?
The housing for the gauges.
And the old school telephone handset in there. I mean, that just
a very modernistic everything else.
Except that. Well, and at the time, that was still pretty cool.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
A phone in the car. But one of the true classics in customization is Little Coffin. It's legendary. I mean, that model sold,
almost 1 million models around the world, was re-released, and you know, has sold 5 million Hot Wheels.
Oh, cow. Man, and you know, a DeSoto Hemi, 6 carbs, you know, very cool interior. And again, one of the trademarks of you guys is it's all metal, right?
Exactly, all handmade. Well, not all handmade, but altered from 32 Ford sheet metal. Actually, the fenders and everything are originally Ford parts. Of course, the nose and a lot of the pieces are handmade, tops handmade.
Sure. But I mean, what an iconic car. And then moving around the 40 Merc there, which is, I mean, that is down low. That is a beautiful car.
That is, and it's got such a beautiful profile. As we stand here and look at it, it just blows my mind to look at the car. Every piece on the body has been altered. Of course, the top chopped, and you'll notice a nice fastback effect he got when he did chop the top. And of course, it's got the traditional Mercury trim around the windows and all that give the Merc hardtop the look originally, you know.
Now there's another really interesting car, and this is one you built, another one you built, the 41 Lincoln Continental.
Right. This is a lot of work in this one, believe me. I put it on a new 2000 town car Lincoln platform. So all the mechanics and the electronics and all are 2000 Lincoln town car, air ride and all that. The interior dash and all the convenience of the modern car is in the car. As you can see, I've widened the whole hood out, widened the fender. Of course, it's got real wide wheels on it too, 24-inch wheels, which give it some of the width. But I also had to alter all the sheet metal on the car. Again, it's an all-metal car, handmade the windshield frame. It has a top that lifts off and on a metal top. So.
Now, does it ride like a 2000 town car?
And you know, that's the beautiful part about it. It does. It drives and handles and works and everything's comfortable, just like a brand new town car. And you know, town car are pretty great drivers.
That is a fine
if you just
car.
want to drive.
It just slides down the road. Well, that brings us to, you know, this baby here, the Vampire, another insane car.
It's all sheet metal again, built on an S10 pickup frame, actually, and it's got the 350 Chevy engine in it. Car runs and drives good.
No kidding. I mean, well, you would never think of using a truck frame for something like this. But
right.
What we've been ignoring the whole time is really the bubble car that started it all. The Predicta. Let's get to that baby now.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, Darryl, the Predicta. I mean, again, this is what started your bubble top career, didn't it?
Yes, it did, and you want to keep in perspective that this was in 1959 I started building this car.
So what did this start life as?
Actually, this started as a 56 Thunderbird.
Wow.
I needed a small frame car to start with and a smaller car, and of course it was 56 Thunderbird was ideal wheelbase wise and size wise.
Did you sketch this out and here's my vision, or do you kind of make it up as you go along?
This particular car, I never was really an illustrator or a true artist as far as paper illustrations go, so this car was pretty much laid out as full size in different sheet metal pieces using conduit to form the different shapes.
And your fit on your cars is really good. And you know, I mean, that's got to be tough to do.
Yes, and I think that's what separates the professional from the amateur, is making everything work right, fit right, not only gap-wise, but design-wise. The way the thing all flows together and all the different design factors actually flow together and have a purpose.
Well, it's you know, very futuristic. You've got it set up. There's no steering wheel.
Right.
And there's pedals on either side. So you can drive it from either side?
Yeah, it's a mind blower when you go down the street left-handed and they look and see, gee, there's no steering wheel, and then they realize there's nobody over there driving it anyway. How in the world is he sitting over here? You know? So that was a fun thing as well as being an innovative
So how does it
piece of
steer?
work. You actually push the lever here forward to the right to turn the wheel to the right, back to the left.
Now the TV, I mean, was that like was that your rear view mirror? Was that your backup? Or?
Well, we didn't have that technology.
You weren't thinking that way back then. So
Right.
it's a TV.
Right, it's a television, and of course nobody had a television in cars in them days, so I actually put a television in it just for the sake of novelty of a television.
So you change the channel, just click, 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 like it.
Just like a normal television.
Old Admiral TV, right?
Right.
But of course, the thing that makes this the car that it is the bubble. But it's a big, big bubble, and you were doing this yourself.
Right, and you know, in 1959, I had the vision of a bubble top, but I had no knowledge on how to build a bubble top. Fortunately, I ran onto a guy that had worked at Bell Helicopter down in Fort Worth in them days, and he gave me the idea of the technology how to do a bubble.
I mean, it's so crazy looking. You know, and it flows from the front to the back.
This is actually a T-bird hood, one of the few pieces I use. Of course, I had to take the scoop out of it.
Yeah, you did, right. Now, a lot of show cars don't even have engines. This one not only has an engine, but has a pretty cool engine. Let's go look at it.
Certainly.
Open that baby up.
Yeah, Dennis. Got to take a look at the engine.
Oh, geez, that's a heavy hood there. You got some lead in that or something?
Well, it's got a little lead in it,
little lead in
maybe.
there. This is great. A firepower Hemi, 392 Hemi.
A big old Hemi.
Well, Darryl, I mean, all around, this really is a spectacular car. The Predictor was the perfect name for it because it predicted you were going to be the bubble top king.
Well, it certainly has helped my career, to say the least. It got me started.
Let's go look at a few more of the wild rides that are in this place.
It's a good idea.
All right, here we go. Darryl, this is one wild room here.
Right, exactly.
I saw this baby on your website, and I just love this. This is a crazy car. What do you call this?
This is actually called the Spaced Out.
I would agree with that.
Maybe I was spaced out when I designed it.
I'm thinking maybe.
No. Believe it or not, Dennis, this is a big old 34 Buick four-door to start with. About this tall.
It's a lot smaller now.
It's a lot smaller.
Would you leave it on
now.
the rain and it shrunk or what?
Right.
And narrower too. I mean, it's a very little car.
Yes, it is.
Cool look though, and I mean, this looks like one of the biggest bubbles you've ever done. Is it or isn't it? It's an illusion.
Well, it's actually an illusion. It's not the biggest, but it is an extra long bubble, as you can see. It's also more narrow than most of them are.
Yeah. Well, and again, it's optically clear.
Yes, and that's the advantage, of course, of doing the free-blown system.
Now this one open up like this?
This car opens the other way.
Oh, it opens this way. Okay.
Front
yeah.
goes.
That makes sense actually. How else would you get in the back?
Right.
She's beautiful. I love it, and I love. It looks so long, but I guess it's because it's so little, really.
Right, and I think it's like you're saying, an illusion more than anything.
Yeah. Love the grill too.
Handmade, the whole grill, the whole front end of it's handmade. The headlights are all handmade. Just a different look about the whole car, really.
I would say. Now, Stingray, Corvette, to begin with at least?
Right, this was a 1964 Corvette.
Really very space-aged interior. too. Very, almost like Jetsons inspired.
Right. This was actually built for a farmer down in Oklahoma, and he was only 18 years old when I built him this car, and he bought the car brand new, brought it to me, and I customized it for him. So.
You wouldn't expect a farmer to be going for something quite like this.
You're right.
Oh, no, this is an interesting one. The back end here is almost Tornado, like 66 Tornadoes.
Well, it has a little resemblance.
And then the rest of it I'd say is maybe Corvette.
Well, probably the only thing on Corvette on the whole car is actually the hood, and we did use a Corvette hood to start with. The rest of it was actually a Camaro, believe it or not, a four-place Camaro. Of course, we made it into a two-place vehicle.
That is a complicated top, though. I mean, how many pieces are there here? There's one bubble there. Is that a separate? Are these separate
actually,
bubbles
that's
back
one
here?
complete bubble.
The whole thing is one bubble.
Whole bubble is
And
one
so how does it
complete
open up?
piece. It opens electrically this way.
Oh, I see. Okay. Wow.
Front half opens up, right?
And you blew that from blue Lexan, or?
Yes, tinted Lexan, or not Lexan, acrylic plastic.
I see. Wow. I mean, yeah, I would never have guessed Camaro on that one.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things going on there, but I didn't see much Camaro in it. But I have to tell you, I would probably guess that one to have started life as a pacer.
Well, and it did, matter of fact. And
Well, I think you're probably the only person that ever customized a pacer.
right, and I did that, Dennis, because I really liked the idea of the wide body.
Yeah.
When it first came out, I thought that's neat. A wide
is
body,
wide.
it gives
They
you a
were.
lot of room inside, and it got.
And then you actually gave it even more glass than it had.
Right, and it did have a lot of glass.
It had a lot of glass
start
to begin with,
right,
but
right.
now it's all clear. So that's 4 bubble top cars right here.
Right, Dennis. Where would you ever see 4 bubble top cars together?
I think only here, actually.
All right.
We've done the inner circle. What do you say we do the outer circle?
Great, let's do that.
All right. This is a wild baby. It looks very 70s to me.
Right, I think the graphics and the color changing and all that, and just the overall appearance of cars has that 70s look
It
about it.
really does. Now, it's really cantilevered. You got the front end stretched way out over there. What was the thought?
Well, my thought there was to get the driver down a little, much like a regular car, and have the visibility and all of a normal car, and the riding of the normal car, and yet have the van behind him.
So what did it start as?
It started as a 72 stub nose van.
Oh, so then you kind of just tacked this front end on and put the flares, and yeah, it is a very funky van.
You haven't seen anything yet. Wait till you see the inside of it.
Oh man, yeah, definitely. I like the chairs, and then what do we have all the way forward?
All the way forward is a big stereo system.
Was that an 8-track tape player in there?
Right, exactly. The
Whoa.
8-track tape player. It has
mean-
a little round television in there, a little 10-inch ball type television.
And what'd you call this baby?
The Vantesta.
Vantesta.
Very, very futuristic and
This
for
sort
its
of
time.
Yeah, kind of hippie future.
Exactly. Kind of hippie future. That's pretty good
It
description.
is
Dennis.
actually. Let's go check out some more of your wild stuff. Okay, gull wing, kind of Corvette-y, but too small. What is this?
Actually, this started out as a 280Z Datsun, believe it or not.
Oh, well, if I look at the dash, I can see that. You still
Right.
got the dash layout of a Z car.
I wanted to get the Coke bottle aerodynamic look about this car, and of course, as you can see, it definitely has that.
Yeah.
And with the gull wing doors, of course, to give it that extra touch.
And the windshield's very bizarre, and you had to obviously redo all of that.
Right, and it's all handmade, the whole top. In fact, about the only thing left on the whole 280Z is the hood. The rest of it is pretty much all handmade out of sheet metal. It even has a Camaro back window in it. So.
Parts from everything. It's a Frankenstein.
Right.
Now you talk about space age. This is like from another galaxy.
Yeah, and I named this car the Star Trek Coupe.
Oh, how appropriate,
Right,
actually.
right the days of Star Trek it started, of course. It is an all handmade car again, all made out of sheet metal, and complete original design. Really didn't really start with any car on this particular. It's powered by a 350 Chevy. It drives and works very well.
Well, the gauge cluster's in the center, but that steering column seems to cock a little bit this way. Does that move, or is that just the angle of it?
That's the angle of it, mainly for you to sit in there more comfortably and drive it more comfortably.
Well, you have to look a little hard at this, but I recognize this. This is a Pantera.
And this is one of my favorite cars.
That's beautiful.
Design-wise, I think I actually improved on the Pantera, which is very difficult to do.
I was going to say, already a pretty good-looking car.
Very nice classic car to start with.
So you stretched it out in front.
Yes, I did. And I actually widened the fenders. The fenders are actually widened, the master wide. I even widened the rear quarters up. If you look up on top here, there's a mirror.
Yeah.
And there's a glass. And when you're driving in there, you look up through the glass and you see the rear view mirror. It shows out high enough above the car.
Kind of a periscope almost.
Exactly. Only you're actually just looking up through the mirror.
No kidding.
Of the glass.
Oh, I see what you're saying, yeah. Oh, that's interesting. We've only scratched the surface here. Darryl, there's, what, 52 cars?
52 cars total in the whole building. It's jam-packed full of unbelievable vehicles.
It is, and they're unbelievable. We got to get them in, though. The only way to do it is in a manic montage. So until our next meeting, remember,